Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a skill that is absolutely essential for making sense of the world. We're talking about using ratios and rates to make smart, clear comparisons. And trust me, it's a superpower you're probably already using without even knowing it.
So let's jump right in with a classic puzzle. You've got two people walking. One goes 12 miles in 3 hours, the other goes 15 miles in 5 hours. Now, at first glance, it's kind of tough to tell, right? One person walked a longer distance, but they also took more time. So who's actually moving faster?
Don't worry, the answer is way simpler than it looks. We are about to unlock a tool that you can apply to pretty much everything, from figuring out the best deal at the grocery store to tracking your own fitness goals.
Okay, so to crack that puzzle, we've got to get a handle on our two key tools, ratios and rates. Let's break down what they are and, more importantly, what makes them so different from each other.
It really just boils down to this one simple difference. A ratio compares similar things, like apples to oranges. Both are fruits. But a rate is special. It compares two totally different kinds of things, like distance and time.
Let's zoom in on a ratio. So imagine you've got a fruit bowl with 3 apples and 9 oranges. The ratio of apples to oranges is 3 to 9, but we can make that simpler, right? For every 1 apple, there are 3 oranges. So the simplified ratio is just 1 to 3. It's a really clean, direct comparison. Now, check out a rate. See the difference? We're not comparing miles to miles. We're comparing miles to hours. Two completely different units. And when you combine them, you create a brand new idea, miles per hour. Rates are all about measuring how one thing changes when another thing changes.
Sometimes looking at an old example can really make a modern idea click. Let's use this concept of a rate to get a sense of the true scale of a massive ancient project.
So, for instance, if a community stored 150 sacks of grain over a period of 3 years, what's the rate of storage? Well, you just divide the number of sacks by the number of years. 150 divided by 3, that gives us a really clear rate, 50 sacks per year. Easy.
All right, our toolkit is ready. We've got ratios, we've got rates. Now let's put this stuff to work. It's time to go back and finally solve that mystery about our two walkers. And here it is, the big reveal. For our first walker, we take those 12 miles and divide by 3 hours, and we get a rate of 4 miles per hour. For the second walker, we take 15 miles, divide by 5 hours, and we get 3 miles per hour. Looking at it like this makes it obvious, doesn't it? Walker 1 is definitely the faster one. The rate made the comparison totally clear. Okay, you've leveled up. I think you're ready for what I like to call the pencil problem. It's got a couple of steps, but now that you get how rates work, it's going to be a piece of cake. Let's do it. The secret here is just to break it down into 2 simple steps. First, and this is the most important part, we need to find the unit rate. That's just a fancy way of saying, how much does one single pencil cost? Once we know that, the rest is super easy.
So, check it out. The problem tells us 4 pencils cost $1.20. To get our unit rate, we just divide $1.20 by 4. Boom, 30 cents per pencil. Now we know the cost of 1. From there, we just multiply that by 10, and we get our final answer. 10 pencils will cost $3. See how finding that unit rate just unlocked the whole thing?
So, why does any of this matter? What's the big takeaway? Well, it's because understanding rates isn't just for math problems. It's an actual superpower you can use to make smarter decisions every single day. No, really, just think about it for a second. Rates are literally everywhere. How fast you type, that's a rate. Words per minute. How much water you're drinking, glasses per day. Your car's fuel efficiency, that's miles per gallon. And that price tag at the store, figuring out the cost per ounce, is using a unit rate to find the best deal. You're making these comparisons all the time. And this whole idea of making fair and honest comparisons, it's ancient. Take this quote. A false balance is really just another way of describing a misleading comparison, like saying 15 miles is faster than 12, without even looking at the time it took. But a just weight, or an accurate rate, that gives you the true story. At its heart, this is all about fairness and seeing things clearly. So as you go about the rest of your day, I'll leave you with this to think about. Whether it's the price per pound for your groceries, the pages you read per hour, or the steps you take per minute, what's the most important rate you'll be paying attention to? Thanks for digging into this with me.